camera rolling, and it is the 14th of March. So I'm just here in the studio and I'm just doing these tankards, these new style tankards. Before I do that, let me show you my little setup I have here on my tripod, just for your interest, in case you are a video maker like I am. So there's you see my tripod. Nothing very special, this tripod. It's not anything very expensive. In fact, I think I bought it, you know, at one of those big stores for 25 bucks or something. It works though, you know, and it gets covered in clay, etc. I've added though, this is one of these desk clip type lamps, and I've added it, just put it on there like that, on the stem, you see, and then I can adjust this. This is actually an LED light, but I can put it down, you see, if I want to, or I can bring it up higher, closer to the actual camera. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you, in case you are somebody who makes videos. Then yeah, just something that might help you. Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing these tankards. I've done one. Very similar to the jugs or pitchers. I'm going to do one. I'm going to show you how I go about doing the handle and how I do that finishing off there at the top. Here. Okay, it's got the thumb pressed base decoration there. All I need to do with that one is seal it. So I'll do that quickly. Yeah, I'll put the seal there. To do this thumb impressed decoration at the base, you want to have the clay, the pot, goes without saying, you want to have it not too hard, otherwise slightly on the soft side even, just to be able to get a nice impression with your thumb all the way around there. I showed you me doing that in the last video, but I'm going to do it again now. So, here's a thought, and that is, because you've got the handle on one side here, and it's a sort of slightly chunky handle, it's not a lightweight handle, that's going to exert a little bit of, when the pot, if you can imagine, is in the kiln at cone 6 or cone 10, the gravity, the weight of the handle pulling down on one side could make the top of the pot go out of round, if you follow me. Now, one of the things that this collar here that we've got, this elbow, this angle here at the top, one of the things that is going to do is, in fact, is going to act as a safeguard to it actually going out of shape. Alright, but now as an added safeguard, I'm squeezing it very slightly. I don't know if you can notice it, but I've made it very slightly oval, wider this way than this way. So what's that going to do? In the firing, as it fires, the weight of the handle will make it go back to round. Okay, so I'm purposely making it a little bit out of round to allow for the weight of the handle to pull it back to being round. It's just a little theory. I have tiddly-pum, tiddly-po. Alright, so Here's one. So I've thumbed him off. What I'm going to do now is take my thumb and I'm going to start here, just pushing in like that. You see, all the way around the base there. Don't be frightened of it, because there's a little bit extra thickness, you see, just at the base there where I'm pushing. Round and round, here we come. So when you've done this, because you've pushed this very close to the edge here, it can cause the edge to here to, in other words, for it not to sit flat. So okay, so after we've done what we've just done, we're just going to tap him a couple of times like this. All right, just to make sure that he is flat. Okay, right, on the banding wheel. Yeah, we've done a bit of handling, haven't we, of late? We did the jugs, and now we're going to do these. Well, you can't see too much of handling, can you? Okay, so first things first, the cut-off here comes to a point there. So right above that point up here is where I generally try to put the handle, you see. Okay, so create the slip and scratch with the end of your finger. Just dip it in the water and make the slip here, right? Don't have a little pot of slip and a little something or other here, a little stick, and you stick it in and then you make it all nice. Don't do that. You'll get yourself in a pickle. Guarantee it. Pickle. I like pickles. Alright, so scratch it, end of finger, dipped in the water, make the slip, create the slip from the pot. Now use your knuckle to broaden the end of, let's just take that light now, you see I can just turn it. Brilliant, isn't it? Like that. So pushing the clay with the knuckle, pushing it back, you see, making it go wide. That's a good tip. I tell you the truth, that is a good tip. You see what we've done there? We made it like that. Okay, now focus that light down a bit. Right, so now a couple of fingers behind there, offer this up here like that to the keyed area, okay? And just as you do it, you see that little action like that, that little sort of left and right, and with my index finger underneath, pushing that extra bit of clay That's inconvenient, isn't it? Just hang on a second. Can you call me back? I'm in the middle of a video. Whoever you are. Right, so now, so I'm going to join the handle with this underneath here, and then you can do that with the index finger like that, you see, like this, and then with the thumb on the top here like that. So let's just bring that up to the camera so you can see. Ooh. Oh, at least I hope you can see. So getting it just make sure he's joined well. It doesn't matter if he's not 100% tidy at this stage. Okay, now let him hang down, dip him in the water pot, dip your hand in the water pot, and we start Now, maintaining this right angle as you pull, right? Pull. Oh gosh. Sorry about this, folks. Hello? Hello? Oh, go away. Congratulations. Congratulations. You have won. Alright, so now, let's see, when you do something new, like you're making a new pot, a new design, it's like, you know, you have to feel your way a little bit. It isn't always straightforward. You have to learn by doing. That's what I reckon anyway. So here, let me just put that light up a bit like that. All right. So what I want to do is, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my nail in, and I'm going to push up like that, and I'm going to put my nail in on that side, and push back a little bit. You see what I've done? And now I'm going to pull down. This is not for beginner, really for beginner handle pullers. You can have a go, but I don't recommend it for beginners. Once you just learn to pull handles just normally first before you start doing all these funny things. Alright, now I want this handle to have a sort of slightly downward, not coming straight out but coming down a bit, you see, like that. Now bringing him round and just make sure he's straight. Okay, now make sure you've got enough space here for your fingers. Alright, and shrinkage, don't forget that. Just have a look at the one I did before to hone my eye in, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's what we're doing, aren't we? We're honing our skills. We're getting get your eyeballs in focus. All right. Okay. So you I don't want a handle that is, don't want a handle that is sticking out too far. You do not want that. Okay, once you've got the handle and you're happy with it, just push it on there. Maybe wipe it over with your finger to remove any wetness that there might be there, because you don't want shininess there, shiny wetness, because that's not so easy to smear away. Okay? Now take a damp thumb and push away that way, and now turn him sort of upside down like that, and push away like that. Could be easier. Okay, the little tail here, what we're going to do is just flick him off. Try and do it as when you do that sort of flick of the tail, so you get a rather nice quick feeling of movement. Right, now I've got to finish up the top there. Before I do that, I'm just checking down the bottom. Check that he's not gone out of shape too badly. He was a little soft at the top, this one. So what I'm going to do now, and let's see if I can bring the camera down here a bit. Let's see if I can do that. Boom, bring that light, and now focus it down there. Now I've got to teach myself something new here, see? And that's not always easy. So I'm going to put a thumb underneath, and I'm going to use my finger on the top, and I'm going to push that clay like that once, and pushing the clay back. Okay, let me show it to you so far. It's not quite finished. I've got to make it a bit more tidy. Lick your finger, and now finger behind, and I'm going to just push it and pull back the other way. You've got to learn something new, maybe, you know, a new technique. A new, you know, like I told you the other day, you know, you've got to find the pathway to achieve what you want to achieve. Sometimes that involves going down a wrong pathway once or twice until you discover what really does work. Yeah, I'm moderately happy with that. I think the first one I did. I'll just put them here together. Just while you're at it, just check that they are straight. Yeah. Oh yeah, and this one I want to make sure is a little bit... Oh, let's pull back that camera. I think we were in a bit tight, weren't we? Oh, Simon. Can't see what you're up to. Okay. Something to bear in... Oh, I tell you what we didn't do, did we? Ha. We didn't put that little gusset in. Remember the little gusset we talked about? So take a little piece of clay, all right, like that. Not too much. Roughly the width of the handle, then sort of pinch it on one side so it becomes kind of sort of wedge shaped, you see, and just lick it a bit, and then you can slide it down. Just turn that light up a bit there. See, I've pushed that down into there. All right, now taking my little wooden tool, so what we're going to do is just going to take that and push that down into that crevice, right, down in there like that. I know I showed you this in the last clip, but so what? You're going to see it again, aren't you? What's wrong with that? Yeah. And gently push that clay down into the crevice. You see how I'm doing it? Yeah. You discover your own method. Yeah, everyone's got their own method, don't they? Got to find a way, but it'll be your way, you know? It won't be exactly the same as anybody else's. That's fine. Okay. All right. So I've done that. Now what I wanted to do was just to push him out of round a little bit. Here's something that I observed. It's interesting, isn't it, how you can observe things if you are observant. Got to be observant. Over there, I did a series of pictures yesterday, and I was looking at them to see if I was getting a little hairline crack. Sometimes, do you ever get that? A little crack just down here where you do the fishtail, you get a little crack sometimes there. Anyway, I was looking to see if they'd cracked. Well, they looked like they were good, but then I found one at the very end of the board that did have a crack in it coming down here. And I thought, but But I then observed that on that particular handle I had forgotten to put that little piece of clay down there. I hadn't put it in. And that was the one that cracked. All the others, which had the piece of clay in at the base here, hadn't cracked. Interesting. So what was that telling me? It was telling me something, wasn't it? It was telling me that something about that handle was different, and it caused it to crack, whereas the others didn't. My conclusion was that it was because by adding this little piece of clay in here, you are effectively slowing down the drying of this fishtail a bit. The fishtail, as it's an added on piece of clay, and it's a little bit thin here just on the edge sometimes when you smear it, it can have a tendency to crack. It is a cracking area that we have to watch. But I noticed when all the other ones that had the gusset in, like this, none of those had cracked. It's interesting, isn't it? But that's how you see, that's how you make, you learn, you make observations. And anyway, that's the new tankard shape. A little bit low slung in the belly with a little bit of a low slung handle. Nice handles to hold those. With this one has got this kind of decoration on it. I think I'll probably do some with a roller wheel as well. Let's put a seal on this one. Oh no, I've done that one. I've already sealed that one. What am I talking about? It's this one, isn't it? Yeah, this guy. So we'll put a seal right under there. And USA right under that. Just there. Yeah. Support your country. Absolutely, support your country. Something wrong with people that don't support their country, if you ask me. Especially when it's not even my country, and I'm an alien, but I support the country. Sure, of course I do. So there it is, folks. I hope that has inspired you, helped you, given you some ideas maybe. That's it, you see. If it's given you some ideas, it doesn't matter. You haven't got to do exactly what I do. I'm just showing you what I'm doing just because I'm doing it. You know. That's all I can do, isn't it, what I do? Let me just put these two here. Just want to show you. We'll bring the camera down, show you the detail on the tops of the handles, and then we'll sign off. Now, I'll work on my method. You see, so you get the continuation of the sort of spine coming down all the way down the back of the handle, and with these two little thingies at the top there. It's just a little detail, isn't it? It adds something. It looks a bit funny, doesn't it? The camera angle distorts it a little bit because I'm a bit close. But yeah, and don't forget, just squeeze him a little bit so that he's a little bit, just a touch out of shape, so that when he shrinks he'll go back to being round. Just another quick thing to mention, that is, as these fire in the kiln, they will twist. They will twist a little bit. So the handle will appear, if you put it straight, it might look a little bit over to the left side as you look at it. That's because it does, the pot screws up in the firing. Did you know that? When you fire a pot, it actually, it twists clockwise. If you throw it through it in the anti-clockwise way on a wheel like we do generally here in the West, as opposed to Japan, where they throw clockwise, then they'll get the opposite thing happening. But we in the West, throwing anti-clockwise on the wheel as we throw the pot, it'll twist very slightly. You may notice that in your pots. I am going to be going to Boston this weekend. I'm going to be away in Boston. I've got a 2-day workshop, 17th and 18th. And so I will not be at NSECA. Yeah. So, but if you're in the area next week, if you're still around, or even what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, well, by the time this video gets up on YouTube, it will be probably too late. Anyway, yeah, come and visit us though anytime. If you're in the area, let me turn that light off a minute, it's in my face. If you're in the area, don't be, you know, pick up the phone or email me and say, hey, I'm in your area, is it okay to stop by? I love having visitors. Yeah, I love having visitors, so don't think, oh, he'll be too busy, he won't want to see me. Of course I will, I'll be delighted to see you, and if you're a new potter, or even if you're an older potter, you know, we can talk pots and clay, and if I can encourage you, I will. So please, if you are nearby, don't be bashful or shy, but drop in and see me, and we will have a cup of tea. Hey folks, go to my website, simonleachpottery.com, and join us for a workshop. The dates are there. If you need any tools, or if you want me to give a workshop in your local area, give us a shout. Maybe I can come to you and give a workshop. Alright, that's about it for now. I'll see you in the next video. As always, keep practicing, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.